When you're under spiritual attack, it often feels like everything is falling apart. The people around you don't understand, the pressure is mounting, and doubt creeps in like a thief in the night. It's in these moments, when the weight feels unbearable and the path ahead looks clouded, that your spirit is being tested, not to break you, but to awaken something greater within you. What you must remember is that storms don't come to destroy you, they come to clear your path. Every challenge, every setback, every sleepless night is a lesson wrapped in disguise. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. There is a strength that only reveals itself in the fire. That fire you're feeling, it's not just pain, it's transformation. When you're going through a spiritual attack, it's easy to believe that something has gone terribly wrong. The pain feels personal, the confusion seems endless. You might start asking, why me? Or what did I do to deserve this? But here's a truth that shifts everything. Spiritual attacks are not signs that you're being punished. They are signs that you're being prepared. Think of a seed buried in the ground. In darkness, surrounded by pressure and isolation, that seed begins to grow. But from the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. Or worse, like something is dying. This is often what spiritual attack feels like. You're buried under stress, fear, and doubt. But deep within, something powerful is trying to break through. When your spirit is under pressure, it forces you to confront your weaknesses, your hidden fears, and the beliefs that no longer serve you. That pressure is not there to crush you. It is there to awaken a new version of you. You don't grow in comfort. You grow in challenge. Spiritual attacks often come just before your breakthrough, not because you're failing, but because you're on the edge of rising to something greater. If you're facing resistance, it often means you're moving in the right direction. Progress attracts opposition. That's why so many people feel the most under attack right when they start to pursue their calling or when they're about to make a decision that could change everything. It's not a coincidence, it's confirmation. It's in these moments, when the darkness feels too heavy, when your strength feels gone, that you must remember this is part of your process. The pain has a purpose. The silence, the confusion, the setbacks, they're all building something inside you that comfort never could. Resilience, wisdom, vision, these things are not handed to you. They are forged in the fire of adversity. Think back to moments in your life when you grew the most. Were they moments of ease? Or were they moments that pushed you to your limit, forced you to dig deep, and revealed strength you didn't know you had? That's the role of a spiritual attack. It's not there to defeat you. It's there to develop you. Many people see difficulty and immediately interpret it as failure or divine abandonment. But real spiritual growth involves seeing with different eyes. You begin to realize that the storm isn't a curse, it's a classroom. You're not being ignored by the universe or by God. You're being taught, prepared, strengthened. It's natural to want comfort, peace, and ease. But those things don't build warriors, struggle does. When you come out of a spiritual attack, you're never the same, you're sharper, you're clearer, you know what you stand for. You begin to understand that the battle was not against you, it was for you. To grow your endurance, to reveal your purpose, to cut away what was holding you back. It's important during these moments not to lose perspective. Don't let temporary pain erase permanent purpose. The path you're on may be hard, but it's not pointless. Everything is part of the preparation. Every sleepless night, every closed door, every betrayal, even the moments when you almost gave up, they're not the end. They are shaping the foundation of your strength. It's also in spiritual attack that you begin to separate noise from truth. You learn to listen to that inner voice that says, keep going. You discover that fear can scream, but it doesn't have to deck when life feels like it's spinning out of control, and you're under a spiritual attack. It becomes incredibly difficult to stay focused. Your thoughts are scattered, your emotions are intense, and everything around you seems to be pulling your attention in 100 different directions. This is not a coincidence. Distraction is one of the most subtle and effective tools used to keep you from realizing your power and fulfilling your purpose. In these moments, your focus becomes your greatest weapon. It's what allows you to see through the noise, to hold on to your direction even when the wind is against you. But staying focused doesn't happen automatically. It's a decision you make daily, sometimes hourly, to not let your attention be stolen by fear, doubt, or outside opinions. When you're under attack, the enemy is rarely just what's in front of you. It's what's inside your mind. The battle is internal, over your thoughts, your peace, your belief in yourself. If fear can take over, it doesn't need to destroy your body. It just has to paralyze your spirit. That's why fear always feels bigger than it is. It wants you to believe you're powerless. It wants you to forget who you are and what you're capable of. The challenge is to remain grounded in what you know to be true, even when everything around you suggests otherwise. Fear shouts. Distraction demands attention, but purpose speaks quietly. You have to listen carefully. This is why focus matters so much. It drowns out the noise and sharpens your clarity. When you stay focused, you don't deny the existence of problems. You simply refuse to give them the power to control your direction. In times of spiritual attack, fear thrives on exaggeration. It turns small problems into mountains. It takes moments of uncertainty and paints them as complete failure. The moment you buy into that illusion, it becomes your reality. That's why you must learn to be fearless, not in the sense of never feeling fear, but in refusing to let fear dictate your actions. Courage doesn't mean you aren't afraid. It means you've made a decision to move forward anyway. Staying focused and fearless doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing your response intentionally. When you're overwhelmed, it's easy to spiral into worst-case thinking. But you can stop that spiral. You can slow down, breathe, and ask yourself, what do I actually know to be true right now? Often, that question alone pulls you back into clarity. Fear is future-based. It's built on things that haven't happened. Focus is present. It brings you back to now, back to what you can do, can control, can influence. There's also a deep kind of power in being still when everything else wants to rush you. The world tells you to panic, stress tells you to act out of urgency, but spiritual strength allows you to pause, assess, and move with wisdom instead of emotion. Fear wants you reactive. Focus makes you strategic. Think of a warrior in battle. They don't swing wildly in every direction. They move with precision, with purpose. That's how you have to move when life feels chaotic. Distraction is everywhere, but you are not obligated to give it your energy. The more focused you are, the more powerful you become. Because in the midst of uncertainty, you're the one choosing where your attention goes and where your energy flows. To live fearlessly doesn't mean you become numb or indifferent. It means you feel everything, but choose not to be ruled by it. You feel the pressure, but you don't cave to it. You recognize the threats, but you don't shrink in their presence. Instead, you remember who you are, why you started, and what you're fighting for. That memory becomes your anchor. It keeps you steady when fear wants to move you off course. Focus is a practice. Fearlessness is a muscle. You build both every time you decide to keep showing up, even when your feelings don't match your faith. You build them every time you silence the noise, return to your mission, and move one step forward, however small that step may seem. Every day you choose focus over distraction and courage over fear. you become stronger. You rise higher. Spiritual attacks are designed to break your rhythm, but when you fight to maintain your focus and act with courage, you flip the script. You turn what was meant to break you into fuel for your purpose. You stop reacting, and you start leading, not just in the world, but within your own soul. You become a quiet force, steady in the storm, grounded in truth, and unshaken by fear. When everything seems to be going wrong and pressure is mounting from every direction, it's tempting to believe that you are defined by the chaos you're facing. You might feel like the struggle itself has become your identity, like the pain, the failure, the disappointment, and the attack are somehow proof of your inadequacy. But none of that is true. The truth is, you are never defined by what challenges you. You are defined by how you respond to those challenges. Life will test you. That's not a question. It's a guarantee. It will test your patience, your strength, your integrity, your hope, and your belief in yourself. There will be moments when you feel stretched to your limit, when your faith is thin, and when giving up feels easier than pushing forward. But those moments don't determine your worth. They reveal it. They reveal what you're made of. They show what you're willing to fight for and how much you're willing to grow in the face of resistance. What you're going through may be painful, but it's not your definition. It's your training. Just as a diamond is formed under pressure, your purpose is often shaped by adversity. The enemy isn't the hardship itself, it's the story you start telling yourself because of it. If you believe the lie that your pain means you're weak or unworthy, that lie can become a prison. But if you choose to believe that your response matters more than your situation, that belief can become your breakthrough. There is a power that rises in people who refuse to let circumstances write their identity. These are the people who get knocked down but don't stay down, who fail but use the failure as a lesson, who cry but still rise and keep going. These are not people with perfect lives. They are people with relentless hearts. They've learned that setbacks are not the same as surrender, that being under attack doesn't mean they've lost. It just means they've been called to rise even higher. There are moments in life when your reaction becomes your legacy. You can't control every storm that comes your way, but you can control how you walk through it. You can either let it consume you, or you can let it build you. That choice is always in your hands, and the most powerful thing about it is that it doesn't require everything to be perfect for you to choose growth, strength, and purpose. You just have to decide, one moment at a time, to keep showing up even when it hurts. People will judge you based on what they see. They might see the failure, the broken pieces, the moments when you stumbled, but only you know how much you've endured, how much strength it took just to keep moving, how many nights you held yourself together when nobody else was there. That resilience, that quiet, invisible fight, that's what defines you, not the pain, not the attack, not the opinions of others, but your will to keep going anyway. In life, you will be misunderstood. You will be doubted. You will face moments where it feels like nothing makes sense, but none of that defines you. What defines you is what you choose to do in those moments. Will you let them harden your heart, or will you let them deepen your purpose? Will you let fear speak louder than your faith, or will you rise anyway, even with trembling hands? There is something unshakable in you. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it feels buried beneath fear and stress. But it's there, and it's revealed not when life is easy, but when it's hard. It's in the moment you choose to get back up. It's in the moment you decide to believe in yourself again. It's in the moment you move forward when everything inside you says stop. Let the world say what it wants. Let the storm rage. What matters is your response. That is the part no one can take from you. You may not have chosen the attack, but you can choose your response. You can choose to rise stronger, wiser, and more focused than ever before. That choice, that response is who you really are, and that identity built through fire and pressure will outlast every storm that tries to shake you. In the middle of a spiritual attack, fear often becomes the loudest voice. It echoes through your thoughts, clouds your judgment, and tries to convince you that you're alone, incapable, or about to lose everything you've worked for. It magnifies uncertainty and feeds doubt, making even small challenges feel overwhelming. In times like this, it can be hard to hear anything else. Fear wants to take control, not just of your decisions, but of your identity. But this is where a powerful shift begins, when you decide that your purpose must speak louder than your fear. Fear is natural. It's a human response to the unknown, to risk, to the possibility of loss or pain. Everyone experiences fear. It's not a sign of weakness. What matters is how you relate to it. Fear becomes a problem when it's given too much space, when it becomes the lens through which you view the world and yourself. It starts to shape your expectations, your relationships, and your ability to act. When you let fear run the show, purpose takes a back seat. But it doesn't have to be that way. Your purpose, the deep reason why you're here, is stronger than fear, but it often speaks more quietly. It doesn't yell. It doesn't demand. It calls to you in the stillness, in the moments of reflection, in the times when you remember who you truly are and what you were created to do. The challenge is tuning out the chaos long enough to hear that voice and follow it. Spiritual attacks come with noise from the world, from your past, from doubt and negativity. That noise is designed to drown out your clarity and distract you from your mission. It's not just about making you feel afraid. It's about pulling your attention away from what really matters. Because when you're focused on your fears, you're not acting from your purpose. You're reacting to your pain. But purpose doesn't react, it leads. It doesn't chase approval or run from adversity. It stays steady even when things get difficult. When you act from your purpose, you move with a different kind of energy. You're not driven by the need to be liked or by the fear of failure. You're driven by vision, by calling, by something bigger than yourself. That's what gives you the strength to keep going, even when the path is unclear. This doesn't mean that walking in your purpose makes life easy. It often makes things harder in the short term. You will face resistance. You will have to make sacrifices. You might have to walk alone for a while, but the rewards are deeper than comfort. They're found in meaning, fulfillment, and the quiet confidence that you're living in alignment with who you were born to be. The moment you decide that your purpose is more important than your fear is the moment your life begins to change. You stop making decisions based on anxiety or insecurity. You start asking better questions. Not what if I fail, but what if I grow? Not what will they think of me, but what impact could I make? Your entire mindset shifts from survival to mission. It's not about being fearless in the way the world describes it. It's about choosing to act in spite of fear, to take the step anyway, to speak up anyway, to build, to dream, to serve, even when the doubt hasn't gone away. Every time you do this, you strengthen your purpose and weaken fear's grip on you. Over time, fear stops being the dominant voice. It might still whisper, but it won't drive. You'll begin to recognize it for what it is, a reaction, not a truth. You'll start to see that most of what you feared was never as powerful as it seemed. And what sustained you through the battle wasn't your strength alone. It was the fire of your purpose burning inside you, reminding you that your life has meaning beyond the current storm. Even in the hardest moments, your purpose is still there, waiting to be chosen again. Fear may come knocking every day, but you don't have to let it in. You can stand firm and remind yourself that you are not led by fear. You are led by purpose. And that decision made again and again becomes the foundation of a life that's not only strong but unshakable. Eyed that pain can visit, but it doesn't get to stay. And most importantly, you find out what you're really made of. You are not weak for feeling pressure. You are not broken for feeling lost. You are not abandoned just because it hurts. You are in the middle of a transformation. You are becoming more than you ever imagined. And when the attack lifts, and you'll see how much you've grown, you'll realize you didn't just survive, you were being prepared to thrive. So don't fear the attack. Don't shrink from the battle. Stand tall in the fire, because the fire is not there to destroy you. It's there to reveal you. And what it reveals is something powerful, unshakable, and born for impact.